Okay. Hi, everyone, and I'm glad to be in the company of other language teachers, but the points that I'm going to talk about and mention today don't really have anything to do with the language, so hopefully they'll be useful to everyone. So, like many of you, when we first started using Canvas, I had this huge fear of like, oh my God, this is going to be a huge waste of time. I'm going to have to spend so much time learning how to do this. I'm going to have to spend so much time putting all my teaching resources on it. This is a whole new learning process. So what I'm going to talk about today is like things that I did in order to save time and cut on time, and things that I know students appreciated because not only did it save me time, but it saved them time as well. So I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'm sure you're familiar with this picture. This is what we see when we first want to log in into Canvas. And you can see that these are the tabs for the classes, and the way to tell one class from the other is the color. I don't know about you, but as far as I'm concerned, a number of times I clicked on the wrong box and I found myself in the wrong class, and I'm like, no, this is not at all what I want to do, and I had to go back a couple of steps to enter. An easy way to solve this problem is if you personalize your class and put a picture as to what each class looks like. So these are two of the classes that I'm teaching this semester. Each one has a picture. It's a lot easier for me to click on the right picture when I want to go to the right class. And also as far as the students is concerned, because like you, they have like 4 or 5 tabs that are only different in color, but now when there's a picture to your class, they can easily identify and access it quite easily. Another thing that I found useful and saved me a lot of time is using the calendar. We've heard already a couple of our presenters mentioning different techniques of using Canvas. Calendar is one of them, and certainly is not the only one. This is where calendar is if you haven't used it. And when you click on it, you can go to the calendar, and what you can do is for every day or for every week or multiple times a day, you can set up different events. And what I do is I start early before the beginning of the semester. I go to the calendar and I put in every single test or quiz or a writing assignment or grading activity, or even activities that are not graded that might be of importance to the student. And when you go to the calendar, when you click on each day, this is the tab that you're going to get, what allows you to put in either an activity or an assignment and the details and the link and the time, etc., etc. The other thing that you can do from the same calendar is you can have it assigned to 2 different classes or 3 different classes for that matter. As a language teacher, I teach multiple sections, so this is useful. I don't have to do the same thing again. Rather, all I have to do is change the class and add it to the calendar of that class. The other amazing thing, once I'm done, on the main page of what the students see, they can see, as you can see right here, all the times, all the activities that I've set up in the calendar. They're all there, nicely arranged chronologically, so they know when they have a test and when they have a quiz. They don't need to ask me, I don't need to answer. Everybody's saving time. Another nice thing about calendar is that you can actually synchronize it. So if you click on this tab over here, you'll find out that there is an option that you can add all these dates to your Google Calendar. Whatever your personal Google Calendar is, you can add. So this is what you would get. And if you take the link and add it to your Google Calendar, all these dates will be added to your Google Calendar. So the students can, that's especially helpful for the students because they have other events and other classes and other stuff that they have to do. This way they can see everything on their Google Calendar without having to ask me, and I don't have to answer. The other thing that I do that saves me and the students time is I use assignments. And when I set up assignments, I give each one of them value depending on category. And when I do that, again, through the magic of Canvas, they can see on their first page, on the front page of the class, they can see exactly what are the graded items that they have to go through and how much each of them is worth. Yes, we have a syllabus, and in the syllabus we put all this thing together, but it's nice for them through one click, as soon as they sign in, they can see all this information without having to ask me. The other advice that I have for everyone, I have been teaching for a while, and I have developed a number of teaching resources, and I found out using Canvas that there's always a way to embed materials that you have had from the past. You don't need to do it again. All you have to do is ask someone or get the advice of someone, and there's always a way to embed your previous materials. I have successfully been able to embed videos, other teaching materials that I've used in the past from other technological resources. And again, I teach elementary, or at least I'm teaching elementary this year, so a lot of my teaching material came from different resources, and I was successful in embedding all of them. And this enables me to use it on the site for the students as assignment or as homework, but even in class, it has been quite useful and quite helpful, and I didn't have to change a whole lot of my teaching materials. So these were just some tips from me that I hope that it will save you some time and also save your students some time, which they will appreciate. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes.
Yeah. When you set up the calendar, do you have to do it every year, or you can navigate it like the assignment?
No, I'm afraid you have to do it every semester, because the way I do it is depending on the date. That's why you can't move it from one semester to the other. Yes, I set it up by the dates for the quizzes and the tests and the written assignments.
So from the student perspective,
If I set up the calendar for my course, from the student perspective, if they have a number of different courses, does their calendar then show things from all the different courses with different colors?
Yes, that's exactly.
So that when they complain that they can't figure out how to sync their lives up, they have a way of doing that if we've helped them by putting it on the calendar.
Yes, exactly. And yes, so whatever items there are on the Canvas calendar, they will be different with different colors. And when you hover the mouse over it, it'll tell you the name of the class. Like, let's say they're not sure which class is the pink color. If you just hover the mouse over it, it'll tell you which class that is. Absolutely.
Which Canvas tools do you use to embed the examples that you gave here, for example? Do you use assignments? Do you use the quizzes?
I've been able to embed stuff in mostly assignments, but also in the pages. And even on the front page, I've been able to embed stuff. Absolutely. You're welcome.
When you're using the calendar, is it possible for students to click on the event and have it go directly to Canvas to that assignment?
Yes, absolutely. If it is something that is linked to an assignment or a quiz, yes, it'll take them there right away. Absolutely. Yep.
For example, today, because I use it not only for my written quizzes, if the quiz is set up electronically, you can import from year to year, and the dates will adjust for you. So it automatically adjusts. It's beautiful. You don't have to do it by hand. But presume you don't want to put all your tests on Canvas. So then it depends what you do. If you have, say, oral presentations assignment, then I believe, again, as long as the date is given, like today we did orals, and there is a tab, submit, requires submissions. So that means when I import resources for next year, the date will adjust for me. In other words, it will still be that assignment on Tuesday of whatever the new date. It will automatically adjust. So yes, you will, depends what type, like the Light Fellow presentations, obviously, that you have to input by hand, but other events, it will import. So you don't have to do all of it by hand.
Thank you.
You're welcome.